Good morning, PASW clients and staff. Welcome to West Side Story Part 2. This is Wednesday, and we're just going to do a continuation of Leonard Bernstein and West Side Story, and then also, like I said last time, show you a little bit more clips from it and talk about who was involved more, because obviously it wasn't just the composer Leonard Bernstein. So yes, and I have a new microphone, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me better. So let's begin. I want to back up because we watched a clip in the first part, and I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show you personally why I think this is such a cool musical, and not just cool, but revolutionary in a sense. And this is something that I know nothing about dance or ballet, so this is something that Lindsay probably knows way more about, but this is just an observation that I think is really cool. If you look at this shot, you'll notice this is traditional ballet, right? These guys are doing moves that are conventional, beautiful. This is from Don Quixote. And then if you put it and watch this shot, they're doing ballet, but they're doing it in the streets, and that was pretty remarkable. I mean, that was not, I don't want to say taboo, but that was not very normal to bring ballet and make it quote unquote cool, because it was like, as I said, Bernstein was very important, as with Jerome Robbins, the choreographer, equally as important as blending the classical and jazz approach, those two approaches, blending them together. And at the time, in the 50s, it wasn't really done. It was beginning, the early 20th century had mostly classical music and classical dance, and you didn't really break those barriers. But in the middle of the 20th century, those were becoming more acceptable to break, and more interesting things happened, So I just kind of wanted to point out those two little cool dance, like juxtapositions of those two dance scenes, and why I think that's very cool of West Side Story to do. And then that's actually a good segue to Jerome Robbins, who is the choreographer and the director of West Side Story. So equally as important as Leonard Bernstein, he was just tremendously influential. And the other person is Stephen Sondheim, who wrote the lyrics to West Side Story. And some would argue maybe perhaps some of the music here and there. We don't really know. He was much younger than Bernstein, much less established. This was kind of his first show. And then I should mention Arthur Lawrence, who wrote the book to West Side Story, which, as most of us know, is based on Romeo and Juliet, loosely, obviously. So getting back to the musical aspect of West Side Story, let's talk about the orchestrations a little bit. Orchestrations are arrangements, pretty much. How if you have a song, a melody on the piano, you plunk it out. That's not really an orchestration at all, unless it's a solo piano piece. I guess it could be, but not really. But an orchestration is when you add more instruments, right? More than one instrument together. So hence the word orchestra, all of them are playing. So Bernstein was really a genius about this, because he was one of the few composers, especially Broadway songwriters, to orchestrate his own music. He had two other people that kind of helped them do the parts and the copying, but it was mostly his sound. And his sound, his classical training, really was influential in using, it was easy for him to use this in the scoring of West Side Story, because as you can hear, as we will hear, some of the orchestrations are very reminiscent of Stravinsky, who we looked at last week, and other classical composers, which again wasn't really done when kind of traditional Broadway 40s music, 40s, 50s music. It was more kind of, like Dixieland, Tin Pan Alley, great stuff, but not, why bring Stravinsky into the Broadway theater? That's just seems like way too much work. But Bernstein was actually wanting to do that. Let's listen to these, to this. This is a very famous piece, Mambo, and let's watch the scene because it's fun. So here's Mambo. then the love story kicks in, and the movie kind of goes downhill after that. No, I'm just kidding. It's great, but yeah. All right, so let's listen to this phrase right here. And then let's listen to Stravinsky's phrase from The Rite of Spring 40 years ago or something. It's not the same thing at all, but do you see the orchestrations are a little bit similar as opposed to, well, I don't know if I really want to play an example of just mainstream Broadway orchestrations, but because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But do you see how Bernstein was using those sophisticated orchestrations that classical composers like Prokofiev, Stravinsky, other people, they were really using that? Okay, I'll give you one example just to kind of show you that older music sounded like. And this is from a corny musical, but the songs are fantastic. It's from Babes in Arms. And Richard Rodgers, some of the best songs, My Funny Valentine, came out of that. But let's listen to this clip, and you'll notice, it's more the orchestrations, the background instruments, they're not really doing anything as sophisticated. Still great songs, but just listen to what I'm kind of trying to explain. And then I don't know. I feel like we barely got through West Side Story, so I'm contemplating if we should do another day. But if we don't tomorrow, then don't hold me accountable. I just have to think out loud about what we're gonna do. So either tomorrow we'll do another West Side Story, but if we don't, then I don't know. I just I can't plan that far ahead. Thanks for watching. Miss all you guys so much. Love you, clients, and stay well, stay safe, and let's watch this number from Babes in Arms. You feel alive and know you're alive, make it your cry. They call us babes in arms. A basket, who wants your yellow basket? They think they must direct us. Babes in arms are going up, going up, going, going up. But if we're babes in arms, going around the mulberry bush, who wants to go around the mulberry bush? We'll make them all respect us. Hooray, hooray, it's Orchestration Day. Why have we got a what have we got a sight for?